Good morning, students. Welcome back to your online class. In the previous classes, we read about the 100 dresses part 1 and the 100 dresses part 2. In the 100 dresses part 2, we read that how Maddie was feeling sorry for the treatment that she and Peggy showcased towards Vanda Petronsky. And now they are filled with deep regret and they are guilt stricken for their conduct to Vanda that had made the entire Petronsky family to leave the city. So out of guilt, Peggy and Maddie they had written a letter addressed to Vanda Petronsky and they got it posted. Let us see that what happens from there on, and we will start with para number 7. Have a look at in the textbook. Days passed and there was no answer, but the letter did not come back, so maybe Vanda had received it. Perhaps she was so hurt and angry she was not going to answer. You could not blame her. Weeks went by and still Vanda did not answer. Peggy had begun to forget the whole business, and Mary put herself to sleep at night making speeches about Vanda, defending her from great crowds of girls who were trying to tease her with, "How many dresses have you got?" And before Vanda could press her lips together in a tight line, the way she did before answering, Mary would cry out, "Stop!" Then everybody would feel ashamed the way she used to feel. In the paragraph, we get to know that Maddie was the one who was seriously quite disturbed with the way they had treated Vanda Petronsky. So that's the reason why Maddie and Peggy they wrote a letter to Vanda Petronsky, but there was no reply from Vanda. But one thing was for sure that they did not get the same letter back. That means that the letter must have reached to Vanda, but because she was so very upset, she did not think to answer it back. They waited for weeks, but still there was no answer. Peggy began to forget about this whole thing while Maddie used to make scenarios in her head before sleeping where she defended Vanda. She thought of scenarios where large groups of girls surrounded Vanda and would ask her, "How many dresses have you got?" And as soon as anyone could say anything, Vanda would interrupt and say, "Stop," so that all of them could end up ashamed. So this paragraph briefly sums up the fact that Maddie was guilt stricken. She wanted to make amends for the treatment that she and Peggy gave to Vanda, and to a greater extent, Maddie is deeply hurt. Let us have a look at the next paragraph. Now it was Christmas time and there was snow on the ground. Christmas bells and a small tree decorated the classroom. On the last day of school before the holidays, the teacher showed the class a letter she had received that morning. You remember Wanda Petrosky, the gifted little artist who won the drawing contest? Well, she has written me, and I am glad to know where she lives because now I can send her medal. I want to read her letter to you. So who is the speaker? The speaker is the class teacher of Vanda Petronsky, Miss Mason. And we get to know that it was the season of winter and there was snow spread everywhere on the ground. And it was a signal that Christmas had arrived, the festival of joy and celebration. So even the students decorated their classrooms with bells and a small tree. And then Miss Mason arrived in the classroom and told the students that she had received a letter from Vanda Petronsky, and now she is very happy to receive it because now she can send her medals too. So let us see that what was written in that letter. Dear Miss Mason, how are you and room 13? Please tell the girls they can keep those 100 dresses because in my new house I have 100 new ones all lined up in my closet. I would like that girl Peggy to have the drawings of the green dress with the red trimming and her friend Mary to have the blue one. For Christmas, I miss that school and my new teacher does not equalize with you. Merry Christmas to you and everybody. Yours truly, Vanda Petronsky. So finally, the letter did arrive from Vanda's end, and it showcased the love and affection that Vanda had for room number 13 and for the so-called her batchmates Maddie and Peggy. She did not want to have those 100 dresses back that she had drawn. Instead, she wanted her friends to keep it themselves. So when the letter did arrive, it began in a very friendly tone. Vanda asked how everyone was and that they could keep the 100 dresses because in her new house, she has another lot of 100 dresses lined up in her closet. So what actually those 100 dresses were? Those 100 dresses were the part of her creative imagination, with the help of which she had drawn those beautiful pictures. And so again in her new setup, in her closet, she had drawn many such 100 beautiful dresses. She specifically mentioned the dress she wanted Mary and Peggy to take home. The green dress with red trimmings was for Peggy, while the blue one was for Mary. She expressed her affection towards Miss Mason and wrote that her new teacher could never replace Miss Mason. It reflects the immense amount of trust, love, affection and respect she had for Miss Mason. And then she winded up the letter by wishing everyone Merry Christmas and also wrote that she missed everyone in room number 13. So, in these paragraphs, we also see a different side of Vanda Petronsky altogether. She is sympathetic and she has that tendency to let go the things and to forgive the people for the sins that they have done. So these are the value traits that we need to imbibe from the character of Vanda Petronsky. The treatment that she got from Mary and Peggy was not justified at all. She was constantly being bullied and teased by them. But still, at the end, she forgave them. Let us have a look at the other paragraph. On the way back home from school, Maddie and Peggy held their drawings very carefully. All the houses had wreaths and holly in the windows. Outside the grocery store, hundreds of Christmas trees were stacked, and in the window, candy, peppermint sticks, and cornucopias of shiny transparent paper was strung. The air smelled like Christmas, and light shining everywhere reflected different colors on the snow. Boy, said Peggy, this shows she really likes us. It shows she got our letter, and this is her way of saying that everything is alright. And that's that. I hope so, said Maddie sadly. She felt sad because she knew she would never see the little tight-lipped Polish girl again and could not ever really make things right between them. In this paragraph, cornucopias is a decorative container that is generally used for keeping flowers and fruits, and holly is a shrub having prickly dark green leaves with small white flowers and red berries. It is used for Christmas decorations. So it was the season of Christmas and all the houses were decorated. Grocery stores were stocked with Christmas trees, candy, peppermint sticks and other Christmas stuffs. The atmosphere was colorful and joyful. Mary and Peggy took home the drawings very carefully. When Peggy realized that this gesture implied that Vanda liked them, they also assumed that she got their letter and everything was peaceful between them. Maddie, on the other hand, was quite sad because she would never be able to see that polished, tight-lipped girl again. So, she would never get a chance to make amends. Dear students, this is what that we have to cover till the day. In the other session, we will wind up with the 100 dresses part 2. The documents and worksheets will be posted in the Pocket Study app. Till then, take care. Goodbye.